Hey, what's up, y'all? This is August C. Jones here, and so I'm doing something new. I'm calling it 3-in-1, where I'm reviewing the movie theater, its food, as well as the movie that I'm seeing. Just going through my mind, what movie theater should I visit, which one should I do first, and everything else. And I have all these theaters lined up of which ones I want to do first, second, and third, and everything else. But while traveling in Whiting, Indiana, I came across this little theater, this old-time theater that only has one screen. It's called the HOOSIER Theater. And I just thought about it. I've always wanted to go to a theater like this. I mean, if you don't know, I have a big, tremendous love for movie theaters. And I had a chance to go to one before, but the opportunities kept slipping until it just ended up closing down, and I never got the chance. So I didn't want that opportunity to slip again. So I wanted to hurry up and go to this movie theater and just see what it was like. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So with that said, I'm catching the 7:30 show. I'm waiting for the doors to open up, and when the doors open up, I'm going to let you guys see what I see, and I will see you guys inside. So let's go. So one thing that I did notice when I went into this theater was that you'll feel like you're transported into the past. From the exterior of the building with the marquee and the box office booth to the whole interior, from the concession, hallway, bathrooms, the single auditorium, and even the smell, which isn't a bad thing. And the whole place is kept in the same condition with very little to small changes, like the payment methods, playing digital films, and just other minor modern conveniences. But yet it still doesn't take away from its overall appeal as a vintage theater that opened up back in 1924, which makes it 99 years old this year and is the last vaudeville movie theater in Northwest Indiana. But besides the theatrical showings, it also houses live musical performances in its walls. And the auditorium is huge, wall to wall, ceiling to floor, and the seating is for over 100 people, which is very deceptive from the outside on how big it really is on the inside. The screen is huge, and the sound sounded really good, using the space of the auditorium to carry the sound like it needs to. The staff was very welcoming throughout my whole time there, which made my experience very pleasant. It shows one film for 2 weeks straight, with one showing being Tuesday through Thursday, and it has 2 showings Friday through Sunday, and is only closed on Mondays. Located in downtown Whiting at 1335 119th Street, right along a nice little strip. And parking, don't worry, there's free parking right outside the theater or not very far from it. And as far as the ticket prices, my ticket cost was only $10. Now with everything being vintage and everything, I wouldn't have minded if my ticket price was kind of vintage as well. But all joking aside, not really. But let's go ahead and talk about the food. Now as far as the food, it's very limited, keeping alive the old-fashioned feel. So I got me a medium-sized popcorn, a Coke, as well as Raisinets out of a nice little candy selection. And I hadn't had those in a long minute, and it was delicious. Now they didn't have butter when I went, but they did have butter seasoning. And it didn't take away from my enjoyment as I devoured the whole thing. Sorry, Dad. And it only ran me $12 for my eats, and it was a pretty good deal. Now on to the movie. And of course, you know I had to sit center. With the front row being a good distance from the screen, I sat front row, and I was shocked that there was only one, yes one, singular trailer before the movie even started. It was a breath of fresh air, as the multiple trailers usually add up to about 20 plus minutes until the movie actually starts. So I welcomed it. Now, this is my second time seeing this film, and it is still a heavy like for me. Better than 3, 4, and 5, to me, it's one of the better installments of the franchise, and the first film to not have Neve Campbell and or David Arquette in it. Arquette, if you've seen Scream 5, for obvious reasons. But that truly doesn't matter to the quality of the film. The actors reprising their roles and their characters are still great and very likable. But the sisterly bond between both Tara and Sam is still one of the best things out of 5 and 6. And speaking of Sam, I'm loving what they did with her character in 5 as well as this one. And there's actually something new throughout all the repetitiveness that the franchise offers. And I hope that moving forward that they play around with it more and utilize it right. It's still very bloody, vicious, brutal, and bold in what it does. And I love the start of the film because it's kind of traditional, but it's not all at the same time, and it still really works for it. It has some great action scenes, and some of the lines of dialogue are kind of weak in how it's written and delivered, not all but some. And the not so surprise of Hayden Panettiere coming back as Kirby was meh. And let's be honest, the Kirby character served no purpose and wasn't needed, and kind of felt like a weak trade-off for them not being able to get Neve Campbell back for this one. But going back to the repetitiveness, this franchise does do some different things throughout each installment, but retains a lot of its own tropes. Like the meta-ness is just getting played out at this point, and it needs to stop. And also, it's kind of predictable as to who is behind the mask. The final showdown is pretty good, I can't even lie. But certain things that happen in the wrap-up of the film kind of come off as unbelievable. And there is a post-credit scene that is not worth sticking around for at all. So surprising to me, this is one of the better installments. But overall, my experience was great and memorable, and I would definitely go back. I love the look and feel of the theater, enjoyed the food and drink, and I love the movie. And if you haven't been here before and you want to have an old school theater experience, and you're not too far away from Whiting, Indiana, look this theater up and give it a try before theaters like this one disappear forever.